All right, man. Detroit Pistons, who should not be back next season. The Pistons season comes to a disappointing end. Like I said last year, got to be a man of my word. I said, I wouldn't mind if they tank with Victor Banana, whatever his name is, at the top of the draft. So I wouldn't mind getting one more year. Dwayne Casey stepped down and all that good stuff. So it's a nice amount of Pistons that just don't need to be back. And some people not going to be happy about it because they grow attachment to, not so good players in Detroit. I never understood that. They grew attachments to a lot of guys that just straight up just busters and sucks and bums and stuff of that nature. Not saying these guys are, just historically, you know what I'm saying? But, I like I said before, I keep it short, simple, sweet. Okay, don't forget you got Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. If they name not Jalen Duren, Cade Cunningham, Jay Ivey, Bojanovic, Alec Burke, in my opinion, Hami Diallo, and I'll give a benefit of the doubt to Wiseman coming off the bench. If it ain't those, was a 7 player, if it ain't those 7 players, they gotta get rid of them. Marvin Bagley, all right, we had the experience. You can't stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? You can't defend the paint. If you can't defend that paint as a center on this team, and he's not more athletic enough to be a power forward, so please stop it. If you can't stay healthy enough, and you can't defend the paint, you can't play on this basketball team. We got Wiseman, so we don't need him. We don't need Wiseman. Could defend better than Bagley. He could do almost everything better than Bagley if he can stay healthy. Bagley can't stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, he can't defend nothing. So right then and there, he got to be out of there. He not improving defensively and offensively. They're not gonna play through him through his back to the bucket. So to me, if you can't defend as a center on this team, you don't need to be on this team. They need guys in the middle that can defend the paint. And between Durham and Wiseman right now, they got enough. Isaiah Stewart, the same thing. He can't defend at the 4. He can't defend at the 5. People talking about the double-doubles and all that. He too small. He can't stop nobody. He can't shoot. So what are we talking about? He can't put the ball on the ground. Once again, it's taking minutes away from Durham and Wiseman. Once again, you messing up their development. Let them, when you're going to lose like this year, should have been letting Durham and Wiseman run, do their thing and run crazy and learn from it. But Stewart, he too small, especially in a division with Milwaukee and Cleveland. He too small. He can't shoot. He can't do, he's a good energy guy, but we don't need him on this team no more. It was a bad draft pick to begin with, to be honest. Bane or Tyrese Maxey should have been the pick. So as much as they love his toughness and all that, once again, somebody at the 5 that play the 5 or can play the 4, they can't stop nobody. You don't need no more guys around Ivy, Cade, Bojanovic, and Ivy, Cade, and Bojanovic. You don't need no other people who can't defend. You don't. Then you continue to roll on and you say who else out? Roddy Magruder, good veteran guy, could shoot the ball. Tired of seeing him. No offense to him. Isaiah Livers, he just physically can't stay healthy. I can't depend on somebody in their 20s and they can't stay healthy. We got to cut the fat of guys that's always injured and can't produce. Nice guy. People say, well, you can keep him on the bench, but he can never stay healthy. And when your number is called, when you get in playoffs, when you get going down the stretch of the season, and you need, you need guys that you can depend on, he's not dependable. He's not dependable. These guys don't want to lift weights no more. You can tell in their body. You used to see how guys was built back in the these dudes. The strength and conditioning programs needs to be, every strength and conditioning coach in the NBA needs to be fired. They need to have a strength and conditioning governing body or governor in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Because the biggest part of this issue is these new strength and conditioning programs they're doing. Everybody want to recreate the wheel on health and fitness. It's no recreating the wheel. Nothing new is under the sun. If it worked for Michael, it worked for Bird, it worked for Magic, it worked for Kevin Willis, it worked for Dwight Howard. Every strength and conditioning coach should be fired in the league. These dudes need to be picking up weights. These dudes need to need to do all types of strength and conditioning. The program, they're not in the gym. Look at Marvin Bagley. You would think, he got all these injuries. You would think he would pick up a fucking barbell or dumbbell. and do some weight training, bruh. That muscle was armor around for your body, bruh. It was good enough for Ben Wallace and those guys. Why it ain't good enough for these guys today? That's why they're so broken down, bruh. Everybody want to, CrossFit, and we want to cross-train in MMA and boxing and do resistance bands. That's not going to make you sturdy, bruh. You got to lift weights when you're playing 82 games a year. You got to get that protein. You got to put some type of muscle mass on. Don't mean it could be good lean muscle mass. But like I said before, can't keep having these dudes young and who ain't durable. And Isaiah Livers just simply ain't durable. The kid from Toronto he can go to, I always forget his name. Corey Joseph, never was a fan. No offense. And then you talking about guys like Killian Hayes, and like I said before, I've seen enough. He can't stop nobody. He can't score. At the end of the year, he always do this. When there's nothing on the line, he starts scoring a bunch of points, playing loose. But when it's early in the season and they playing for something, he never show up. He'll show up here and there when you don't expect him to show up. When they playing for nothing, they down the stretch, when he able to play free and there's no expectations on winning basketball games, he good. He play good here and there, but we done seen enough of this experiment. He drugged Cade Cunningham down during his rookie campaign, and he drugged Jaden Ivey down in his rookie campaign. What more do we see? We don't know. He don't need to be the backup. You don't need to be the backup center or backup point guard or nothing. They need to cut bait with all those guys and build around the guys. I say build. Bojanovic off the bench, Diallo off the bench, and Burke. Them should be 3 off the bench. You go find somebody that can D in 3. From the point guard position, fine. Bring Wiseman off the bench. Them should be your lineup off the bench. Wiseman, Bojanovic, Diallo, Burks, and a good 3-and-D point guard. Them should be your horses off the bench. And you'll start lineup. Let's say you end up with Brandon Miller, worst case scenario, or Victor, whatever you want to say. Miller filled the void at the 3. I love the way he could defend it. He don't need the ball to be 100% efficient. So you love that from him. And and then at that point, you're just looking for a power forward. No, Troy Weaver, Kyle Kuzma is not. He can't stop nobody. Ask yourself this: if they can't, at the 3 and the 4, if they can't stop nobody, we don't need them. Straight up and down. If they can't stop nobody, we don't need them. It's as simple as that. That's what you should be asking yourself. If they can't stop nobody, we don't need them. Nothing more than nothing less. Around Cade, Ivy, and Duran, you won't want defenders. Now, if you have Victor or you have Brandon Miller, fine. 2 really good guys who could be really good defenders. But the opposite, you're going to need defenders. If you ever get Victor, you go out there, in my opinion, I think Jaylen Brown would be overkill in that lineup, in my opinion. But if you go out there and get a good glue guy like Cam Johnson to play the 3, that's perfect. Somebody who's been to the finals, been in some big games, who could shoot it, who could defend. Injury concerns, maybe. I kind of tread lightly there, but he can play some 4. He can play 3. He can defend his position. He can shoot the ball. That's exactly what you need. Somebody who don't need the ball in hand to be effective. And with the drivers and the ability for Cade to get to the rack and get to the line, Ivy get to the rack, get to the line, Bojanovic get to the rack, get to the line. It should open up stuff for the other shooters like Victor or if it's Miller or if it's Cam Johnson or if it's Bojanovic or if it's Alec Burke. And you gotta understand Bojanovic better off the bench because guess what? You can't compromise any more defense. You can't compromise any more defense. You can't. You cannot compromise any more defense. Simple as that. You cannot. You have to have defenders in that lineup around Cade and Ivy for sure. So that's one thing that they gotta think about. But yeah, all them dudes, man, who can't defend, who can't shoot, they gotta go, man. All them dudes gotta go. He got 7 guys he should build with in the offseason. You building around Cade, Duran, and Ivy. As simple as that. No more Hampton and no more Bagley experiments. No more Wiseman experiments. No more of that shit. Let's surround these dudes with a little bit of more young talent and some veteran talent. It's as simple as that. That's where it's going to be won at on the defensive end. How fast they gel defensively, and you can't continue to have liabilities in the starting lineup defensively. No matter how much y'all say, oh, they don't play defense anymore. Don't believe that. You can't have a Kuzma and a Bojanovic in your lineup. They can't defend no wings. You got to get out there and get you guys that can defend. It's only so much Durant and Wiseman clean up in the paint. And that's their biggest issue, is they got to defend. Get some 3-and-D guys in there, some guys that can defend. You know, get you a defensive-minded guy in the backcourt. Bring in Patrick Beverly to come off the bench as the backup point guard. You know what I'm saying? Bojanovic, Burks, Diallo, and Wiseman. That's a good lineup. Patrick shoot it well enough. Bojanovic shoot it really well. Burks shoot it really well. Perfect. And Bojanovic can have the green light special all he want. You know, he can shoot as much as he want in that lineup. But one of the things, you put him in the starting lineup, guess what? He disrupts the offensive flow because he takes a lot of bullshit shots. Right? And he can't stop nobody. You can't have that in the lineup with Cade and Ivey. Unless Cade and Ivey going to be one of the greatest defensive backcourts in the land. That's just what it's going to have to be, bro. You can't have no more defensive liabilities on this team. Bojanovic is enough. You don't know what Cade and Ivey gonna be like. Ivey seems like he got a lot of potential defensively. Cade can be solid. So, but you wanna emphasize defense. When your next head coach, he gotta believe in defense, and then he gotta believe in making the offensive dynamic work, which is gonna be his own struggle. But if you can defend, you can get through the offensive walls. But he gonna have to make offensively, he gonna have to make it work as well too. We got two guards that's good at getting downhill, getting to the rack. If he recognized that, and you get guys that can shoot around them, they should be in a great position. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button. It's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree, find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. Link to the first link in the description. Peace.